right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wilder Minds. Doing things a little bit differently here, but we always got to start with that. The cold crack of a bush light. Oh, no bush lights down there in Mexico, it looks like.
I'm coming in remote. I can't. They don't have Bush Light here, and it's all I drink when it comes to beer. So I'm cheersing with some wine that I grabbed from the room today.
There you go, a little bit of wine. As you guys can see, if you're watching this thing, or I don't know if you could tell through audio, but Chris is definitely not here in Michigan right now. It is snowing like crazy out. It's an ice storm. It's actually thunder snowing where I am at our studio in Michigan, but it does not look the same in Mexico.
No, it is not. It's 85. And look at that view back there. That's where I'm at. It is happy hour. And I got to tell you, man, I'm pretty good with it right now for the last couple of days. I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah, I'll say. How is Mexico? Haven't been down there in a while.
You know, it is different, man. We used to come here a lot when we were kids, right? Spring break, and it's
Yep.
kind of surreal to be on my daughter's senior spring break and be the parent worried about the kids going out at night and all the stuff. Like, it's a complete opposite game right now. But, it's pretty good. We're at an all-inclusive resort down here, which makes it nice because everything is contained, right? So that's kind of cool. The kids can go to the bar if they want to go that way. They can go to dance club. They can go get restaurants. So they book their own meals. So that's pretty cool. But the worry doesn't stop. There's no doubt. I'm waking up at 2 a.m, checking location, making sure. Just tell me when you're back. That's all I want to know is you're safe in the room. So it's definitely different as a parent.
Are they leaving the resort? We used to leave the resorts all the time, but
No.
she's a little rough down there now.
No, it's not like you and I used to like sneak out and go to like Senior Frogs and go downtown and do all the fun
Yeah.
stuff at all the like touristy places. It's not like that. It's basically get to the resort, everything is here, so all the clubs and bars and everything are here, so you just stay on premise, which is kind of nice. But it's still, at late at night and walking around, and of course we've all seen the horror stories in the news of the kids that went down to like whatever Dominican or Acapulco or wherever it was. It's just like you just want to make sure. So.
Yeah. No,
But
I
they've
get
been
it.
good. So far, so good. I got there's 7 girls here, so everybody's very happy to be here as seniors. So
Sweet. Good. Well, let them have fun, and that's what she's all about. Senior spring break, right?
yeah, man, it's fun. So we're down a wingman today since the Dominican Republic said no, he can't. He
I
can't
know. I'm
join.
trying to get JB. We were trying to get JB in here to the service that we use for this, but it seems like in the Dominican they've got some sort of firewall. So he is sitting on a beach as well. He's just in a different part of the world, but he's not going
Yeah,
to be joining us today. We
won't
can't.
accept
There's no
him.
way we can get him in, right? We'll keep working on it, but maybe if he pops in later
He
on,
may pop
he
in.
does.
Yeah,
We'll find out.
he may pop in.
Well,
So
I don't want to take up too much time. I know you're down there doing your thing, and it's way cooler down there than it is here. But wanted to bust out a quick episode because we got a lot going on in the world, and just
a
wanted
lot.
to kind of talk through a few things, get some insight from you while you're down there in the sun.
Yeah, man, let's do it. I think it's been fun so far to see all the feedback. So we're going to keep this thing rolling no matter where we're at. And with technology today, we can make it happen. So
Yeah.
we're here. It's fun. Plus, it gives
So
me a break. I'm good. I need a
yeah,
break. I
right.
need to chat. Yeah, even though I got a wine in my hand, it's all good.
So first and foremost, before we really kick into some of what's going on in hunting lately, Val Kilmer died today.
I know, man. I saw that early this morning. Val Kilmer
That's
is an
like
icon.
that's Iceman.
That's Iceman.
I mean, I couldn't
Absolute
believe it when I
icon.
saw it.
No.
Crazy little side story. I actually watched Top Gun Maverick with Ryder this past weekend,
Yeah.
and there's that scene where Mav and Ice are in the office, and they're like for the last time. And
Yeah.
they did the whole thing, and then they show the funeral, and he hits the pin down into the casket, the whole 9 yards, and I was like tearing up in the movie.
Yeah.
And fast forward 3 days later, and Iceman actually in real life has passed away.
So Top Gun Maverick is a movie that if it is on, I'm going to watch it. Even though I've seen it literally so many different times, I'm watching it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And when they did that, it's one of the movies that did it right. They didn't
Yep.
outplay Iceman, overplay that scenario. They did it. They kept him via text because obviously his illness. But then when they brought him in, I thought they nailed it. And as a nostalgic person that knows the original Top Gun when it came out, I thought they nailed it. Nailed it.
Oh God.
That
And
movie's unbelievable.
just the movie as a whole. I
Yeah.
mean, when you take on a original like Top Gun and you decide you're going to come out with a second one, it better be good. I mean,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
rarely are sequels as good or in some cases better than the original. And I think, yeah, I don't think it's better than the original, but I think it did it
No.
justice for sure.
Well, that's just it. Like you never know what you're going to get with a sequel. I mean, they played up some of the things in there, like the volleyball scene and everything else, and you think, well, that might be cheesy, but the way they did it, I felt like, I mean, even playing the piano and Great Balls of Fire with Goose's
Yeah.
kid, they still did it right. Like I don't know, it just
Yeah.
still came off not cheesy. So it's just one of those movies. And the Jets, to see the technology difference. They did a good job at that too, with the old Tomcat that was in
Yeah.
the hangar out there that he had to remember how to fly. So yeah, man, Val Kilmer, and that's just not the only Iceman. I mean, Tombstone.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on,
Doc
right?
Holliday.
Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was an icon. Crazy man.
Doc Holliday is one of the greatest characters and I don't care what movie, what genre, what anything. His Doc Holliday is one of the greatest movie characters of all time. I
Yeah,
mean, just the way he played him and the way, like, just everything about it, he
yeah.
was unbelievable. So
I agree. I agree,
he's
man.
like that in a lot of movies.
Yeah, his character is like the dominant, like it's the one that's pivotal in most movies he plays in, but not the main character. But he plays
Yeah,
the character that really like has a role that changes or shifts things. It's pretty good, man.
yeah,
I loved him as an actor.
yep.
Loved him.
Well, it's a
Val
sad day.
Kilmer.
Iceman slash Val Kilmer slash Doc Holliday slash Jim Morrison in the Doors movie
Yes, that's
is
right.
no longer. It's a brutal one. It really is.
Yeah, that's tough. You see that Jim Morrison, speaking of that, do you see that there's a new doc out that says he may not be dead, that he faked his death? And there's a guy living in Massachusetts that changed his name and it could be Jim Morrison. Have you seen this?
No, no.
Yeah. It's a real doc of like a Doors fan that started doing all this stuff, and there was never actually a body when he supposedly OD'd, and he was one of the, what did they call that group back in the day? They never made it past a certain age, like
Oh
25
yeah,
or
like the
something, 28,
26ers. Yeah,
27. Yeah, it was like a
yeah.
number like that. So anyway, this Doors fan ends up doing this documentary. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it on the plane, but it's on Apple Plus. But apparently Jim Morrison is not dead, and he's just a recluse. And he did that to get out of everything that he ever like was in the limelight. And he's just like working in Massachusetts, changed his name. Like it's crazy. I haven't seen it yet, but that's a real thing. I swear. So
That's unreal. I got to
yeah.
keep my eye out for that. I haven't seen it. I'm a huge Doors fan. The Doors are
Oh
phenomenal. And
yeah.
then poof, obviously they
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that one if you get a chance. I'll watch it and we'll report back and see because it's a pretty. It'd be amazing if it was the real thing, but I don't know. That seems a little far fetched.
that's wild. No, I
Yeah.
definitely have not. I have not
Yeah.
seen that one.
Yeah.
So it could be real. It could be fake.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing is like you just don't know, right? You don't know what's happening.
yep,
So documentaries can be deceiving like that.
yep. Well, speaking of real and fake things, let's talk about this new potential Wisconsin world record whitetail. Have you seen this thing?
I'm seeing this thing, and my first reaction, and I want to see if yours is the same, because you and I have seen a lot of high fence deer. Now I'm not going to jump to the
Yeah.
high fence thing right away, but I have seen a lot of those. Right. My first initial reaction was either those antlers are a replica or the whiteness of those antlers from not rubbing on actual trees. And so I had to really, really do some research. So I did do a big deep dive on Facebook and some other things like reading the comments. But my first reaction was it doesn't look like a wild deer would look from an antler perspective. And I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain that, but I wanted to get, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's complete bullshit. I'll be honest. There is
And there you go.
no way. I mean, I don't think there's any. I look at the deer, I look at the antlers, I look at the coloration, I look at just the actual shape of the antlers, knowing
Yeah.
what they're doing genetically in some of these high fence operations and deer breeding world and how that goes down. You look at the pictures and like the position of the deer's ears. I mean, there's so many things in there that I'm like, there's no way this is real. Wherever your adventure takes you, count on Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's to make it memorable. From the timberline to the campsites to the lake and the range, get your family outfitted with the right gear. With premium brands like Worldwide Sportsman, Ascend, Instinct, Redhead, and Natural Reflections, they've got the apparel and the gear to make it the best adventure ever. Stop by today for a one-of-a-kind shopping experience in-store or online at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com. See for yourself at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's stores. Your adventure starts here. All right, let's talk about beer for a second. You ever notice there's a big difference between Busch Light drinkers and other beer drinkers? I like to say we live on the wild side. You know, a guy with a Busch Light in his hand, he's a man of the people. He's out there in the wild every day. He's in the trenches smashing bushies with a smile on his face. You know why? Because he doesn't care. He's not looking for a soulmate. He just needs something to wash that damn jerky down. And he's got himself a 12-pack of Freedom in a can. And when that can gets cracked, it's like opening a door to a whole different world. It's just a vibe. And if you haven't felt it, you should. So go grab yourself a case of bushies, give them a rip, and take a walk on the wild side. You've got things that matter. Memories, heirlooms, documents, firearms. And we all know that life is unpredictable. At Winchester Safes, they make sure life's unpredictable moments don't take those things from you. They use state-of-the-art methods that refuse to sacrifice quality. They put everything they have into their products, offering proven protection and peace of mind. There's only one safe company worthy of the title, the American Legend, and that's Winchester Safes. Follow at Winchester Safes or learn more on winchestersafes.com. Let's talk about Mountain Ops, a brand that I rely on to fuel my fire in more ways than one. I could sit here and talk about how undeniably essential Ignite is to my daily life. I could explain the benefits of the super greens, and I could ponder out loud how they got those super greens and super reds for that matter to taste so damn good. Or I could just give you a quick look into who they are as a company, because to me that matters more than anything. So here it is. They recognize God and acknowledge His hand in all things. They believe in being worthy of others' trust. They're reliable and honest with their information. And lastly, they take full and personal responsibility for their actions and the outcomes. There you have it. If you want to learn more about Mountain Ops and stay connected, check them out on social media at Mountain Ops or head on over to their website, mountainops.com. And remember, if you want to save some cash, use code Keefer.
Okay, so this deer. Oh my God!
Hey, look at
that! The Dominican man is in. Look
there
at
he
this,
is.
mi amigos.
Holy,
Hey.
he looks Dominican. Look at that tan.
Yeah. Hola, ¿cómo
Wowza.
estás? Look at
Hey,
this.
I like your hoodie there, guy. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm repping. There's
There you
not
go.
a whole lot of archers down here
No.
that I've met.
Unreal. Well, welcome to it. We finally got past the Dominican firewall, huh?
I found the guy. Told him let me in.
There you go. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Is it-
There he is.
That works. Well, you joined at a good time because first off, I'll give you a quick second to touch on our first subject, which was Val Kilmer passed away, a.k.a. Iceman, a.k.a. Doc Holliday. So we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Got any quick hit thoughts there?
Yeah. He was a legend back in the Tombstone days. I remember with my buddies from Beaverton, we went and actually saw Tombstone 4 times in a row, back to back to back to back, 4 different days, and watched that. That was a legendary film, of course. We all know that. But yeah, I was sad to see, man. You knew he was kind of going downhill, but
Well, they did it right, though. We were talking about Iceman and Maverick. They did it right. His last hurrah on screen like that, I felt like we both agreed that they did it right by him.
yeah, for sure. And you knew, I mean, if anyone knew anything about Val, you knew he was sick at the time. And for him to I know Tom Cruise made it like it was a big deal for him he wanted him in that film. And I knew they had to shoot it within it was like a couple hours. They had to shoot that whole scene. So yeah, it was great. It was great to see him in that for sure.
Well, we moved on from Val, and we started talking about this new potential world record whitetail in Wisconsin, and that's where we're at right now. We're just getting into that, and I know you've got a ton of thoughts there as well. So that's kind of where we're chatting right now. But Chris, what were you saying right there when Jay was getting ready to jump in?
Well, what I was saying is that the story, I think, Jay, we both agreed it's bullshit, and that's what we think. It's fake. Actually, I said I think it's fake. Casey said I think it's complete bullshit, so that's good. Um,
Yeah,
but to me, the story and the one thing that threw me off was one trail camera pick, and it is if you take that mount and put it over that trail camera pick, the hump in that deer's
same.
back, everything is exactly the same. And I don't think they have a trail cam pick. I think with AI and all the shit that they do today, that's easy to put out there. But the fact that there's no more of that deer in any trail cameras, and you don't just get to that size from like 4 to 5. So the fact that there's one
Yeah.
to four with nothing, I don't know. I just don't believe it. I think it's bullshit. So that's what I'm saying, Case, is the story to me is it doesn't add up. It just doesn't
Yeah.
add up.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the trail camera picture, the lighting on the mount is lighter than the body. It's like all of a sudden a burst of sun came through there when there was no sun. And that the same thoughts too is like they're the actual ability to get a that buck is very visual. You see that deer from the road, from everywhere. And this is Wisconsin. This isn't like it's in the middle of a place that doesn't get hunted much. Wisconsin has a million hunters, just like Michigan. So I think, the first thing that I thought of is obviously you go back to the Ron Pola buck, and everyone, as soon as a giant deer shot, the first thing they do is they say, this is fake because of X, Y, and Z. But if you really go through a lot of what a lot of the hunters and the people in social are saying, it matches up. It doesn't seem to me like it's a real deer.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. Listen, I hope it's real, because if it is, dude, this guy killed an absolute hammer. Like, I'm pulling for him. I really hope it's real, but I think it's bullshit. On that note, though, I get fascinated by what's the motivation. Like, what's the motivation?
Yeah.
And Jay, we've got a series coming out. Chris, we got a series coming out here later on this fall that's going to deal with a lot of this subject and a lot of these topics. But the motivation behind claiming you've killed a free range world record deer, I just don't understand it. Like, is that where we're at in the world, when the antler just the size of antlers matters more than anything, and like you're chasing fame with it, or what do you guys think? Like, what's the motivation there?
My problem is I'm in the same boat as you, where as a hunter, I'm pulling for this guy to actually have shot this deer. But then if this guy takes this different approach and it is fake, then you're the scum of the earth. Like, what are you doing? What is the motivation? And so that's what gives hunters a bad name, a bad rap. And I think it's bullshit that someone can do that. Now, obviously, we'll let the facts speak for itself, but I can tell you this day and age, they're going to come out. I mean, it's not like back in the day. This one has too much stacked against it. I don't get what the motivation would be to go under that much scrutiny for what? To put your name up on a
Yeah.
board that always is going to have an asterisk next to it, like it's never going to be
Yeah.
proven. Like, I don't get it, guys. I just don't.
Yeah, I think when you look at so the guy's name, I don't know if you said this yet, Richard Waters. It was 312 and 1/8 is what this non-typical buck scored, shot in Marquette County during muzzleloader season. And again, we got to remember too, this was released on April 1st, so we could be under the biggest, April Fool's joke of all time. Who knows? But in all honesty, I'm not a hater. I want everybody to kill a big deer. I think it's fake. And Casey and I've gone so deep in the Rampola buck. I was around in that era in Michigan. I was working for a company that was selling a grunter that he used during that hunt. And I know the negativity pre-social media that came out of the woodwork to attack a guy who really didn't defend himself and really didn't, stand up and say, I shot this legitimately, even though if he did or didn't, that's something that we'll decide later, but or that hasn't really been decided yet, in all honesty. But this guy, I don't know. Apparently, he was at the Wisconsin. It was like the Woods and Water show and had it scored there. I'm waiting for this guy to kind of stand up and tell his version of the story. Until I hear that, it's gonna feel pretty fake to me.
Yep. Yeah, and the last part of what I was going to touch on is it was also April 1st, so it could be the old April Fools, get social media fired up over a big nothing burger. But I don't know, guys. I get fascinated with why people do this stuff, and I guess when you look at hunting in general, and you look at like the progression that people go through as a hunter, and where you start and where you finish throughout the journey. Maybe this guy's still in the I need to kill stuff for big antlers phase. You know what I mean? Who knows? So
So
I don't get it.
So say this. I fucking hate April Fools. Like, what in the hell is April Fools about at the end of the day? I mean, yesterday I got so pissed off because I saw that I saw another April Fools thing, and it got me worked up because it was a sports thing. And I'm like, there's no, and then I forget, right? And then I'm like, oh, that had to be. And I go back and I'm like, and I understand that's what it's for, but it's like, I don't have time for that shit. Bryson DeChambeau got pulled out of the Masters because he hurt his shoulder because Matt Stafford threw a ball at him and hit him in the. And they had a video of Matt Stafford throwing a ball, hitting Bryson DeChambeau, and it was like it hit him, and he's pulling out of the Masters. And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, like literally later on, I saw the video of Bryson saying, "Oh, April Fools, shoulder hurts, but I'm not really pulling out of the Masters." But you know how many people believe that? And I'm like, the betting lines are.
Well,
I'm confused. Yeah. I'm like, oh, come
yeah.
on. So,
On the other side of the equation, Tiger Woods. Did you see his April Fools?
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, miraculously, my trainers and we've decided that my Achilles is 100%. We're going in the Masters.
Yeah.
We're teeing it up next week," and it was complete bullshit too. Yeah. So I hated that. I want to see Tiger at the Masters.
Well, the thing with April Fools is, don't we all have enough shit to worry about?
Yeah,
like, I hear one, I'm like, oh, here comes another one. Awesome.
So I like when companies do April Fools with like products that I could get behind. But like when it's stories like that where it's like you don't know if it's in today's fake news, you don't know what's real, what's fake. But I love Grizzly put out an April Fools, which was the Grizzly egg crate container, and it said like we're now launching the egg crate. And when I first saw it, I was like, damn, I gotta call the guys at Grizzly because that's sweet. And then I'm like, wait a second, that's not a real thing. But when I first saw it, I was like, hey, that makes perfect sense. Nice Grizzly egg crate container. So anyway, I like when they do the products, but I hate the stories. The stories get me every time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they do build an egg crate. Maybe it's a great way to test new product ideas. Chuck it out there. Right?
Launch an April Fools, and when people say, yeah, you should do that, then you got a new product.
Yeah, see
it's
if it
pretty
works.
cool. Yeah.
Jumping to the Masters. Let's talk Masters real quick. Getting ready to fire that whole thing up. That's a good time of year, boys. It's a good time of year.
Great time of year, man. I have I always have the favorites, and I enter this pool, and it's like you pick 6 players, and you pick different levels. Two of them can miss the cut. If more than 2 miss the cut, then you're out of the tournament. So the levels of players you pick, it's like the top, the second tier, third tier, fourth tier, all the way down. So I'm going to go through the favorites, and you guys, I want to hear who you think is going to be this year's champion or somebody that's not on the list. And I have a couple to watch here. So Scotty is 4-1, Rory is 7-1, Rahm is 17-1, Aberg 17-1, Bryson DeChambeau 19-1, JT is 22-1, and that's kind of where the top 6 or 7 sit. And I have my own thoughts there. Wondering what you guys think.
So I'll go first. I'm going to say it just because I am fucking pulling for him, Rory. I really, really, really want to see him win. So I'm just going to say Rory, based on nothing else aside from, come on, man, get it done.
Well, just to see him win not too long ago was amazing, right? Just to see Rory, because he just won and he's got a heater behind him. And those guys, when they get on a roll and they're playing good golf, you just never know what's going to happen. I think Morikawa is another one you got to watch out for. Colin Morikawa, I think he's gunning for that. That would be amazing if he could pull that off. Xander is another one. Those guys, I mean, they just come to compete every single week. But I don't know, man. Scotty Scheffler, at the end of the day, the guy is just amazing. So I don't know. We'll see. But I would say my underdog, he's not really an underdog, would be like a Morikawa guy, like someone that could pop in there like him and do it. But everybody's saying that Aberg, look out for Ludwig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Ludwig's he's a badass. I'll say I'm kind of on board with Casey. I'm not a I mean, I'm a Rory guy, but I always I pull for other guys. But Rory, it's his time. He's been playing really well. He won it, the Players, in sudden death the next day. So I kind of feel like this is Rory's year. I kind of think this is his year. You can't go past Scotty. Scotty
No.
is he's the man. He's the man, and I'll throw a couple names to watch. Akjay Bhatia, he's one. He's a lefty. He's real thin. But he's a hell of a player. He's an up and comer, and Victor Hovland, he's
Yeah.
a 35-1 guy that if he gets it rolling, he's tough to beat. But no, those are kind of my picks. But I will say this, and I know we've always talked about this. We've always talked about going to Augusta. It's something that I think, as just a fan of sports, a fan of golf specifically, but you gotta walk that grounds one time in your life. In one of these years,
Yeah.
maybe it's after the kids get out of high school, because it always kind of butts up with spring break and it's turkey season and all that good stuff. But to get down there for a couple days, I went down there with Darcy in 2002, and that was 23 years ago. But I'll never forget it. We went there the first day. It was a Monday, and back then you just bought practice tickets on the street outside Augusta National. There'd be people with badges. You'd buy them. First day, it was like $75 to get on the grounds. We bought two day passes. We got in, and we got to the first hole. They blew a whistle. Everybody off the course. They canceled that practice round that day because of weather. So we bought like $900 worth of golf shit and had it shipped back to the house. And then we went back, stayed the night like an hour north, came back the next morning, bought more tickets, and they were more expensive that day. We bought two more. They were like $125, which is still cheap as hell. You can't even get practice
Oh.
tickets nowadays, hardly at all, unless you enter the lottery and stuff like that. So we went in that day, and I'll never forget walking down. Once you pass where all the concessions are, and you walk in, and to the right hand side, there's the big white board, the leaderboard, and there's a guy up there that's staying up there and manually doing all the numbers. And then you walk to the first hole, and I'll never forget. I set my foot on like just the rough, and just try. I remember getting down on my knee and just going and looking at the grass and trying to find dirt, like parting it. You can't see dirt. The grass is so green, it's so lush. And we walked up the hill and through the first hole. And I remember looking at the ninth hole. It kind of sits up high, and what you don't realize is 1 tee and 9 green are like close to each other, and the undulation and the elevation change in Augusta is crazy. It's up and down. It's you go 70 feet down, 70 feet up, and you don't realize how much stress is put on these golfers to walk 18 holes day after day after day. But I remember looking at the ninth green, and you could easily see it was VJ Singh, because he had the long putter, and he was standing there. I'm like, oh shit, he's got his little kid, his kids playing with him that day. I didn't know he had a kid that age. And you get up closer, that's Camilo Villegas. He's a mini guy. He's like 5'5". I thought it was VJ's kid. And so anyway, we just walked the course. It was just wild. And back then, you couldn't bring cameras. It's before really cell phones could take pictures. You couldn't bring your phones on the course, so you had to leave your phones, either check them in when you got into the front gate or leave them in your vehicles. But on the practice round days, you could bring a real camera. So I had a straight up 35 millimeter camera, and I was ripping pictures off on Amen Corner and got a picture of Tiger in the pine straw. It was just wild. It was an experience like you'll never forget it. And once you walk Augusta with, and see it with your own eyes, you'll never watch the tournament the same way again. And it's just something we have to do. And I'll say that the truest that I ever saw, for a couple years, they had a HBO, I think, did a 3D version telecast of Augusta, the Masters, and you could wear 3D glasses, and you could seriously see the undulation like you can't see even on 4K or 6K television. So it's wild, fellas. We got to go.
God,
Oh,
you remember every step you walked, so I'd imagine that's where it's at. I mean, there we are.
did you get a hot dog?
Yeah,
No, I got a pimento and cheese sandwich, which
Yeah.
was $1.25, and it still is like $2. I swear, like the
Yeah.
food is so cheap there. And I had an azalea, the mixed drinks, it's vodka, grenadine, and lemonade. It's phenomenal. You can drink like 100 of them. They're so good. But yeah, we gotta go.
That's
So
funny.
pick a hole. Pick a hole. What is your, like, if you had to watch one hole throughout the whole week and you could only watch one hole, what is it?
Man, that's a tough one. 15 is probably a big one because it's a par five. It's reachable. Most days it's reachable in two. But there's a risk reward. If you're short, you're in the water. If you're long, you're on the backside. And depending on the pin, where they tuck the pin, it's a tough up and down for birdie. So you really are, you have that uh, risk reward type of situation. But if you got to look at number 12 as well. Par three over the water. It's tough. Wind is a big factor there. That's where Rory's round came unfolded like 4 or 5 years ago. He had like a three-stroke lead and just blew up on that hole. And I think Jordan Spieth did as well.
Well, we
It's a
seem to be
tough one.
cutting out a little bit.
Yeah,
That's
he
where
got
I'm at. I'm hole 12, man. Golden Bell. It's a short par three, Race Creek right there in front. Like, if I had to watch one hole for the Masters, I'm watching 12. That's my favorite hole. The bridges, just the way everything sits. And, depending on where they put that pin, you got water in front, bunkers in the back. If they tuck the pin tight or put it back in that right-hand corner, you go back to like '05 and you look at what Tiger was able to do there. I mean, it's an awesome hole. So,
well, Amen Corner in general, right? Is that 11, 12, 13?
yeah.
Is that what that
Yep.
is? So just that Amen
Yep.
Corner, which is just, if you could post up, that'd be the place to post up for sure. I was going to ask you too on Rory. Isn't this the only one he needs for the completion of the championships of
Yes.
the big ones? Right. This is
Yes.
it,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that's right. I was
that's
just
it.
thinking about it. I'm like, he only needs he only needs a green jacket, and then he's got them all.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's only needed it for 10
I
years.
know, I
And
know.
that's
That's
why I'm
it.
pulling for him.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I'm pulling for him.
that puts a lot more weight behind him coming into it. So hopefully he has a good. Yeah, hopefully by the time this comes out, we're gonna know what's going on with him. So it's gonna be awesome.
For some of us, the hunt never stops. Grizzly understands that more than most. Rugged, reliable, and built to never back down. Whether you're on the trail, by the water, or deep in the dark timber, Grizzly is by your side. Tough enough to take on the wild and ready for whatever you can throw. Grizzly is committed to products that never let you down. Always on the hunt with Grizzly.
Out here in the wild, precision isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Leupold Optics is built on the foundation of American craftsmanship, where every features function first. For over a century now, they've combined dedication and technology with a relentless put-it-to-the-test attitude, creating optics that stand up when everything else stands down. When it matters most, you need the best. That's what you get with Leupold Optics. While other companies out there warranty failure, Leupold guarantees performance for life.
Some call it out on the trail. I like to call it the road less traveled. The kind of place where the going gets tough. That's where Tracker Off-Road comes in. Made for those who won't back down. Tracker Off-Road delivers the hardest working machines with the greatest capability at the strongest value in the industry. Built by those who know what it takes and designed for those who don't turn back. Tracker is dedicated to delivering machines that let you get the most out of your day and your dollar. Ready to take on your next adventure? Go with Tracker Off-Road.
Every shot counts. And when it's time to make it count, you want the best. Winchester Ammunition has built its legacy on a commitment to innovation by continuously pushing what's possible. In the heartland of America, the American legend crafts ammunition that's purpose-built, reliable, accurate, and ready to perform no matter how harsh the conditions. Whether you're hunting or shooting for sport, Winchester will be there.
Well, I got one more thing I want to cover off with you guys before I let you get back to the fun and the sun and the beaches down there, and I'll go back to the ice storm and the thundersnow. You guys see this? Tesla's making a fishing boat.
did see this. It's unreal.
Did not see it. Did not see
Unbelievable.
it.
Unbelievable. But it looks like a Cybertruck from what I can see,
Looks
right?
identical to a Cybertruck, but it's a boat.
Yeah. But they said that the technology of this thing, the thrusters that he learned from SpaceX, there's no motor per se. It's all thrust driven. It can go sideways, left, right, up, back, down, like it doesn't matter. And it has a virtual anchor. So if you say you're anchoring, you're no longer dropping an anchor. The thrusters keep you in place exactly where you want to be. And it shoots the water at the exact same time to keep you held, no matter how high the wind is. That is mind
Yeah,
blowing. That's mind
Game
blowing.
changing.
It's mind blowing.
I
Elon's
know.
at it
That's
again.
like, what does that do for fishermen across the country? I mean,
Oh
so
my
you look
God.
at some of these bass boats, and bass boats in general have gotten wildly out of hand. When you
Yeah.
talk about the bells and whistles that come on these things compared to where they started, I mean, you think of the old bass tracker back in the day and where we sit today. I mean, it is just insane. And now we've got Tesla entering the fishing space with a boat. I mean, it's
So
just, to me, it's, I mean, on one hand, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. On the other hand, I'm like, it's pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. If
so
it's
the
true and it's real, it's pretty sick.
So this is
Yeah.
where we're at. I was just gonna say this could be another April Fool's thing. This is a story. Piss me off if it isn't because I got excited about it. And it's the technology that they have in it. 120,000 is what it's supposed to start at. And there's some pretty legit stories out there when you research this thing. Um, I don't know, man. I think it could be. I think it could be pretty cool to have an actual Tesla. But it also said that Elon was paying an extra 10,000 per podium finish. Anybody using a boat. So if they get on the podium,
Wow.
and the only thing that threw me off is 10,000 seems a little weak from the man that's using a Cybertruck. So that's why I was like, is it another real story or did we get bamboozled? So
Yeah, it
Hey,
could be.
what's the price what's the price on this case?
120.
Do you know?
120, yep.
I mean, you look at a Ranger, a brand new Ranger, top of the line's $100 or
Yeah,
100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, usually
Yeah.
right in that range. So,
Yeah.
yep.
and this is all battery operated. Obviously, is there like a range they have for the
Sustaining. So everything on the water is all solar charged and solar. It's supposed to be self-sustaining for as long as you can go because it's like built out of shit that charges it while you're driving. It's crazy.
so awesome?
I mean, technology. I mean, God bless him, man. He's advancing us into. If this is a real thing, he's advancing us again. I'm all for it. I'm all for
Yeah.
You think people are going to start to key Tesla boats when they show up?
it. Protests on the
They better
dock.
not. They better not. That's a different type of human that you're going to start messing with. I wouldn't mess with bass fishermen.
I just, the whole keying thing that's going on right now, I don't even know where to go with it. It's just unbelievable that that's where we're at.
Who keys
Yeah.
a car that has Sentry mode, which activates all the cameras? They're literally cameras filming you keying, you idiots. At the end of the day, like I just don't get it. That's what he did. He put it Sentry mode. You know,
I mean,
I got a friend down here. We were just talking about this. I said, "Have you gotten keyed yet?" He goes, "No, I put on Sentry mode. It videotapes the whole everything." He's like, "I can see if anybody walks up to the car." I'm like, and they're still doing it. It's amazing and getting arrested. It's unreal.
I mean, let's be honest. Have you seen the people doing this? I mean,
Yeah,
when they're caught,
yeah,
they're Muppets. They're all
Yeah.
Muppets.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I saw a guy yesterday literally say he keyed a guy's car and the guy tracked him down and he said, "I'm sorry you're so upset over this." That's what he said. He's like,
Sorry.
"I'm really
I
sorry
saw
you're
that.
so
I saw
upset
that.
over this. You fucking keyed my car, you jackass." Like, that's what, you know what I mean? Like, the fuck are we doing here? Are we back
Yeah.
in grade school?
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I get worked up. I get a little worked up.
Touch
There
my
it is.
diesel and see how that works out. That's why they call it a concealed carry, some bitch. You're not going to touch my diesel. So
Mind
not
blowing.
happening. Yeah, that's nuts.
Well, I got to say, I hope to see a Wisconsin new world record. I think it's bullshit, but I hope to see it. I hope to see a Tesla boat that is self-sustaining with a virtual anchor, and these guys just ripping lips on bass all over the place out of these things. I think it'd be kind of cool to see, but time will tell, I guess, right?
Yeah, time's going to tell. Time will tell. We might have got bamboozled. We'll see. The good thing is we'll know in a
Well,
week.
yeah. So, Chris, when do you fly back? A couple
Yeah,
days.
I come back in a couple days. Solid trip so far. Casey, you'll like this. I went to Shellha. You remember going to Shellha as a kid?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, so the snorkel joint. And they got this river, right? So we dump in this river, and you get in a lazy river, and you go down the river, and you're supposed to come out, and you got your snorkel gear, and it's a chaotic scene up top. When you rent your snorkel gear, they said, "Hey, if you lose this, it's like $400 or something. Just turn it in." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I tell the girls, I'm like, "Hey, don't lose your mask." I am no less than 50 yards from entrance. I lose my mask. Okay, I have no idea where my mask goes. It fell off my raft. So when I got in, it was so chaotic. You take your phones and you got to put them in those deals that protect the water, like the waterproof guys, so you can film it, right? So I have that, and it's chaos. The girls are trying to get in. Everything's happening. I take it and I tie it to the raft instead of just putting it around my neck. So I'm floating down. We're in. Everybody's good. We get about 50 yards away. I realize I don't have my mask. So I said, I'm not paying $400 for a mask. I'm going back. I know it's right here in this tunnel. So I go back up there and I tell the guy, I see my mask down here. Can you grab it? And he doesn't have a life vest on. He's like, no. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm taking my vest off. And he's like, you can't take your vest off. I'm like, watch me. I'm taking my vest off. And I'm going down there with my damn flippers and I'm getting this thing, right? So I dive down and I get my mask. And when I'm down there, I see a phone. And I'm like, somebody lost their phone. So I'm down at
your phone.
It's about 10 feet. I grab the phone and I push up. And as I push up, I hit the screen and Kylie was on the screen. It was my phone. I lost my phone and I lost my mask. And I was telling everybody, don't lose your mask. I'm telling them all. And I lost all of it. Yep. So I had no idea I lost my phone. I have no life jacket on now. I'm stuck in this river. I'm like, it was a scene. It was a scene. And then I ended up making it out. Then I joined them and jumped off a cliff. And right when I jumped off this cliff, contacts blew out of my eyes. I couldn't see. So that was the beginning of my day. The contacts blew out. I have no sight for the rest of the day. I have no extra contacts. So I might as well just been blind as a bat. I found my phone and I found it. So yeah, it was a shitty start to a crazy long day. So Shell Hall was a little different this time going back than when we were kids and we could just snorkel and didn't care. Yeah, it was a disaster.
You're hard on shit, man.
Hard on shit. I'm just hard on shit.
Terrible.
It's exactly what my wife said. She said, you're hard on shit. So, it is what it is.
Speaking of a shitty start, got a little bit of the traveler's diarrhea,
Did you get
believe it or not.
A case of the Mexico's?
No.
A case of the...
little revenge?
I was fighting for my life Monday night. Fighting for it. I was sitting on the old stool, and it was like I was in the sauna, and I was pouring sweat, like I haven't poured in a long time, and it's just pooling up, and it just hit me, you know, that night. And I'm trying to. I'm real careful about what I eat, what I'm eating here, just because it's a little Dominican isn't the greatest setup for food.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be real careful what I eat, but I think I had maybe 15 cocktails that day, and I think it was going in and out of the water. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got some bad water. One of the guys from town, Forchie's here too. Forchie had the same thing, and we were drinking the same stuff all day. So
yeah,
I'm thinking it's probably from the water. I'm not drinking the water, but
I did bring my SteriPen. I said to Katie, I go, if I've gone undropped for 15 years. I'm bringing my SteriPen, and I have my SteriPen in my room, and I have not yet gotten sick. Now, I'm 15 pounds heavier, and I need rehab, but I have not gotten sick yet. So there's that.
Yeah.
You have to send a picture of your SteriPen in like a Miami Vice. Like SteriPenning a Miami Vice, because the alcohol's not strong enough to kill the bad shit, right?
Yeah.
Get that SteriPen
That's what
there.
Casey, I probably had 8 Miami Vices and 8 icebergs. So I promise you, it was something in that Miami Vice, and I was going to bring it. Actually, Gibson said, "Are you bringing your SteriPen?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not going to bring it. Yeah. I should be SteriPenning my shit."
You should.
No question.
I have it.
It's in the ice. It's in the ice, man. That's where it comes from. You're like, I don't drink the water. Yeah, yes, you do. It's in the ice.
They say that this is a nice resort, or all inclusive. It's all purified ice, but what they're cleaning the mixers with just water.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, in the mixer situation, some little guys got into the old guts.
You got a parasite.
Dominican version of Beaver Fever. It's no good. The Dominican Beaver Fever. What do they call that? I don't even know what the hell they call it down there.
It's probably called the Mama Juana. There's this booze called Mama Juana. Had about 7 of them. They taste like Jägermeister. The first few days was hot and heavy. I've leaned off that first few days of the excitement.
Does that have
Mama Juana
spices in it? Like all the spices?
Yes.
Yeah, I blacked out once on that. I blacked out once.
It's awful. You'll never black out again because it's like it is literally like Jägermeister and like spiced wood chips all confused into. It's not that good.
Yeah.
But you're excited.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was I think I was Punta Cana, and Case, were you with me on that trip? Did you film me? You filmed me, and I couldn't get to the room. I woke up in one of the display rivers in a lobby.
Yeah. No good. No good.
Like this right here?
Yeah.
Like this one?
Yeah, just like that one. I woke up in one just like that. It was bad.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's bad. Well, that's what we're doing. Good luck with the cold back there, Case.
Yeah, there's nothing here in the water. Water's still the same as it was in Michigan when you guys left. Thundersnow is awesome. Bush Light is almost warm now since we've been talking for almost 45 minutes, so I'm going to polish this baby off, and I think that's a wrap. You boys get back after it.
I'm out of wine, boys.
All
It's
right,
time
man.
to go back to vacation. This was quick and easy. We'll see what happens next week. Maybe we got bamboozled. Maybe we didn't. Who knows? Yeah. Chug that. Chug that bad
See you
boy.
next.
Shotgun
See you
that.
next week, buddy.
See you, boys.
All right. Later.
Mama say it's a new day song.